Hey everybody, and welcome to a channel update. Wow, it is dark in here today. Channel update, and but basically, I'm looking to fix my problem where I'm not answering emails fast enough. So typically, I get my emails throughout the day. To be very honest with you, I read most of them while in the bathroom, and then I intend on my phone, and I tend to reply to them later on. So I put them in a separate folder, and then I just forget. So I rarely reply to my emails, rarely reply to most things you guys send me, unfortunately. So I do feel bad about that. But I do read everything. So all the positive stuff, awesome. All the negative stuff, actually I enjoy those the most. And mostly a lot of the questions I never actually reply to. So a couple things I'm going to do in this video is I have a better solution because my last couple haven't been good. And I wanted to give you an update on myself, the channel, and basically Kings of War is probably the big one. Where is it? When's it coming out? Well, the answer to that is tomorrow, kind of. Oh, tomorrow for sure. But I'm sure many of you noticed that there was a dip in my content a while back, a couple weeks ago. I missed some work. I have a bit of a medical thing. So years ago, in my early 20s, I got into a really bad car accident and actually broke my back. I had like 4 surgeries on my spine to fix it so I can walk right now. And I'm usually pretty good, to be honest with you. I can't really complain. So don't worry about that. It's actually, all things considered, pretty good. But every now and then I get a bad bout. And I had a bad bout a few weeks ago where I was off for a bit. That's why I missed my sit and talk a while ago. And I was off work for quite a while. But what happened there is when I actually threw my back out this time, I had fallen on my left elbow, which caused a new problem, which is directly impacting everything I do right now. But, so the reason why you haven't seen, there's a reason why I'm telling you this, so you'll understand in a minute. But the reason why you haven't seen Kings of War bat reps yet is because I really wanted to only use Kings of War miniatures in the bat rep, because I like the idea of just having like a diorama type trays. I really wanted to just shoot all the bat reps with those, for lack of a better word, diorama units. So because I had a big pile of stuff on my painting to-do list, I contacted a bunch of painting commission people and have sent off tons of my projects to other studios. I got a lot of things coming in, so you'll expect to see Wild West and Exodus bat reps soon, hopefully soon, because the guy has just sent me my email confirmation yesterday. He's actually mailing back I got the Deadly 7. He's painted them for me. So I'll have them soon. I have some more Dark Age stuff being worked on. I don't think I've ever showed off, I should probably use this show to show off my miniatures too. Sorry, you know, I apologize, it's very late. I've been working all day and then I recorded 2 games at the studio after work. One of them being Kings of War, which you're gonna see tomorrow morning. Or right now, if you're catching this video in the morning. But I'm sorry, I was eating. I'm very distracted. Where was I? Guys are painting my stuff. My Kings of War stuff went off to a guy. And they were supposed to be back by July. Done and painted. But for whatever reason, the person or studio, I'm not sure if it's one guy or multiple guys, couldn't do the job and send it back. So I got everything unassembled, unpainted, and it was kind of a blessing. At the time, I thought it was kind of a blessing because I sent off everything and I could personally work on the army myself. So I started working on the army. I got the entire army to this stage. I don't know if it's too dark to see my studio or my office today, but they're all in dioramas. Drewski, Andrew from the Mini Wargaming Bunker team, 3D printed me some tree trunks and some skull type things to put on the diorama bases, and I got the airbrushing part of all the models done. But that's as far as I've gotten. I can't really paint at all at the moment because when I fell on my elbow, I did something. Okay, you have to forgive me. I'm really not intelligent. I've entrapped the nerve in my elbow. The longer I keep my arm bent, the more I use my arm, the more this part of my hand gets really numb and really painful. This finger really hurts. I'm unable to paint for very long at all. So I can pretty much paint like this. And as you can imagine, it's not very efficient. So my painting is going to be temporarily super slowed, unfortunately. So I'm gonna rip on Canada a little bit, but ultimately it's not gonna cost me a dime because I'm Canadian. The government's gonna pay for the operation, obviously. Oh yeah, it's only fixable by surgery, but I don't even get to see the surgeon until the first week of December. So I get to see the neurologist in December before the operation gets sorted out. And my family doctor said the only way to fix it is surgical. So it's gonna be months before I'm back up and running properly. But I assumed many of you want to see Kings of War just in the Kings of War miniatures. But thankfully, so many of you have sent me emails saying, let's go, get the videos out there, let's go, let's go, let's go. And nobody caring about the actual models. And I noticed that a lot of other people on YouTube are doing Kings of War bat reps with Games Workshop models. So for the time being, until I get these done, I'll just record in with Games Workshop models. So tomorrow I have a game going up. Yeah, I'll have it up for tomorrow morning. I'm gonna upload it tonight, 9 o'clock tomorrow. You guys are seeing this tomorrow, whatever. It'll be Luke and myself playing a Kings of War bat rep. He's using undead, I'm using my elves. And yeah, you see a bunch of them coming up. Now, that's the Kings of War and the medical thing caught up. Now, I know about the email thing. I'm still very bad at replying to emails, I'm aware. So I think I got a new idea. What if on this video, you guys sent, or in the comment section of this video, put on those long questions that require an answer? Because what I know I can do is I can go to this video weekly, turn this camera on, ramble for a bit, and not have to type. I think mentally, the block starts coming when I have to type. I gotta type out my response. Like, look at these giant muckle hands. I'm not a good typer. So yeah, put the comments in this video. I'll just reply to this video weekly. Kind of like a mini Where You Sit and Talk. I'm totally stealing their idea. But it'll just allow me to not stress over the fact that I'm not replying to your emails fast enough. And I'll probably get a better lighting in this room before I actually start recording in here. Or just do it during the day. So if you send me emails, I'm probably just gonna refer you to this video. Because if I get the habit of just saying, hey, go put that question on X video, then I know I can reply to that with that real fast instead of the big, long-winded answers I tend to give people. So yeah, let's try that. I don't know if you can see it in the background, but the Kings of War bat rep has just finished rendering, so I'll be uploading that shortly. So yeah, so I'm going to reply to a couple of videos real quick, or a couple of emails real quick, because a few of them popped up. I'm not going to go through all of them because honestly, I'm just picking you guys at random. I picked 1, 2, 3, 4 at random. 4? Because I've ignored far too many of you guys and I do apologize. So, Dave Scottney. Oh. You probably can't tell your name. So, hey Steve, I know you're a busy guy and I'm struggling to understand an important rule. Please help. I am just watching a vid of your channel where you play Raven Guard versus Thousand Suns. Right. Yeah, I really want to answer this one online or through a video too, because I want everybody to see the answer to this one because I messed up. You use their armory stratagem to put most of your forces into Strike from the Shadows. It's a stratagem the Raven Guard have. The match play from the big FAQ one states 2 conditions in their tactical reserves. One, the first part says that at least half the power level of your army must be deployed during deployment. That part is true. Both of your parts are true, but that part does apply to this stratagem. The second states that you arrive on the battlefield during your player's first turn and cannot be deployed outside. Excuse me. I don't know if you guys heard all that grumbling and burping in my chest there. The second part states that units arrive on the battlefield during the player's first turn and cannot be deployed outside their own player's deployment zone. It then gives the Genestealer cults and the Raven Guard examples of which armies can ignore this. Part 2 of this update to the rules. Well, the Raven Guard don't exactly ignore part 2 of the rule, but I'll explain why. I'm confused as to why you state the first part of these rules is ignored by these armies. It doesn't read like that, and it certainly does not state that. I'm honestly trying to understand this. I'm not trying to push in my favor. Obviously, yeah. I recently played in a tournament where a Genestealer cult player had 1 model on the table after deployment, then turn 1 ambushed his entire army around my deployed forces and killed everything powerful with demolition charges. He rolled 3 days for each unit due to his characters and got 6s each time, allowing him to deploy within 3. Ooh, that's really lucky on his part. When you read the intent of the tactical reserves, it states, tactical reserve rules change at the top of the big FAQ, page 2. They make it clear that alpha striking and decimating an enemy force turn 1 is something they're trying to remove from the game. Am I confused or are you? I'm the one who's confused. Really want some help understanding this. Keep up the great works, regards. 3 things. And the third one makes me an asshole. I can tell. First one, it states that half your power level must be must be on the table during deployment. That's true, and I misunderstood the stratagem. I thought you literally counts as deploying them on the table. Like, so the big FQ says up to half your power level must be deployed on the table. I thought that stratagem basically allowed them to be counted as deployed, but the stratagem very specifically says instead of deploying these models, place them in strike in the shadows. So I was 100% wrong, and I cheated Vito. I've already talked to Vito about this. I think he won anyway, didn't he? I don't remember. But yeah, no, that was 100% wrong. Only half my power level could use strike from the shadows. It's been corrected in every game since the one that you've seen. I've done it correctly in every game since the one that you've seen. Second part that says units that arrived in the battlefield during a player's first turn cannot be deployed outside their deployment zone. That's true, but this stratagem specifically says they arrive on the table before the first turn starts. I understand that you are understanding that, you agree, but some people might not be understanding the way I'm speaking because I'm not very articulate. So they do come on the table outside my deployment zone turn 1. Oh, sorry, before the game starts. So it gets around the second part of the rule, but does not get around the first part of the rule. I definitely cheated. And the Gene Circle thing, man, okay, let's be honest though. They're a very bad army. They're very mediocre. This guy just happened to roll a bunch of 6s, and sometimes in Warhammer that happens. So unfortunately, he's starting to get some bad luck. But yeah, no, you got me, buddy. I was 100% wrong. Oh, this one doesn't really apply. Okay. So a while back, I can't remember where the video was, but I don't know if this. So one day, Matthew and I were joking about the next Gorka Morka campaign, where I'll try to get 6 different orc trucks in my warband, but I would use the old Voltron model. You have to be in your 30s. Remember that old Voltron cartoon? Oh, I guess there's a new cartoon out now. I guess everybody knows what Voltron is. So it was, 5 robot cats that would form together to one giant robot. Well, we joked about making 5 trucks of the 5 cats, and that when he gave me rules that if I combined them all to make a giant super Voltron cat, would let me do it in Gorka Morka. And he said something like, if you find the old original model, yes. So I'm like, oh, I went to eBay. I'm like, no, that's super expensive. Andy, Andy must have been in the room with us. I was there a little over a year ago, and we talked about doing a Voltron conversion if you had the parts. I mentioned that I had one in my mom's house. We finally made it back there, and I found him. He's a bit damaged. You want to let me know? No, nobody. Hang on to him. I'm not going to do the work. I am not going to steal your Voltron, because I definitely won't finish that. I won't finish that conversion. Scott, the Mallman. I'm gonna keep going. Long-time Vault member, love your battle reports. Always fun to watch and make me want to play and paint more. That's awesome. I have a question about your deacon, if it's possible to answer. How do you go about doing the skins on your thralls? Okay, so I take, I spray them Corax White, the Games Workshop spray paint. You gotta make sure you cover the entire model without putting too much primer on. It takes a little practice, actually. But after the paint at Corax White, just nice and smooth, I mix a 1-to-1 ratio of Drakenhof the Nightshade and the Lemayan Medium, and just put it over the entire skin. It gives them a pale blue tint. And then I take, once that's dry, I basically just paint the bulging part of the muscles, or the highest parts of the arms and the face with Pallid Witch flesh. First layer is very thin, a lot of the blue kind of goes through, and I do a second layer at the higher points. You see where the light's kind of like shining on my cheeks on this side? A little bit more. You just build the white up more. It's basically, it's Corax White base, 1-to-1 mixture of Drakenhof Nightshade and Lemayan Medium. and then the white. If you have the Deepkin Battle Tome, I followed what they did in there actually. Also, what would you suggest for a competitive 2,000 point list? I have access to any models from OK on choice. I just thought man, honestly, with Deepkin, you can't go wrong with anything. Anything Achillean, just bring the Achillean stuff. 1 or 2 turtles. I like at least these 1 unit of eels with the Volt Spears, but a big unit of eels with the Ishleen Guard eels, and you're fine. That's all you need to worry about. They're really powerful. Unfortunately, if I had to make a tournament list, I'd probably make the list around the Achillean core. So I make it 1 drop, or it'd be 3 drops probably. If you need Achillean King. Yeah, so take an Achillean King. I actually like the King more than Volturnos. Even though Volturnos on turn 3 can buff 3 units, the King can make better combos of items and warlord command traits. You really need the King to get the command trait of +2 leadership within his bubble. You kind of need that. So take the Achillean King, buff him up which way you want, then take the Achillean core and fill your points out and you're fine. I'm gonna do one more? Oh, I flagged one more. Oh yeah, I had to do this one. This is unfortunately the guy who made me decide to do this, because he sent me an email today that said bump. When I saw that bump, my heart sank. I'm like, oh, I'm not replying. Hi, just bumping if you missed it, smiley face. Sorry, buddy, I just bad. Hi, Steve, hope all is well. I need help regarding Hiles and AOS. I don't get how to make a list, or do I make it right? They divide the Hiles into 5 or 6 parts. Yes, I hate that about the Hiles right now. Eldritch, Swift Hawk. The new Beastman Battle Tome, they've talked about, like the pre-order stuff's out now. They talked about bringing all like the War Herd and Bray Herds together, finally, making them playable. So if they ever did an elf book, hopefully this means they'll combine them all back together. I'm relying on Battlescribe a lot, and I know that's not always good. Yeah, don't do that. Use the app. The app's free. Do I have to take Order Draconis? Then yeah, okay. I'll just skim this real quick. Sorry, you're watching me read. Okay, yeah, so a lot of this stuff is actually been personal correspondence. We were talking about something else altogether. It's not really anything you're going to be remotely interested in. So I will reply to you the second I turn this video off. But I might as well finish off what I was saying here. Yeah, elves are a tricky one because they're not really in the lore yet. Well, they are very minimally. Tyrion's elves, where I'd imagine the Hiles would fit into the lore. And I don't expect to see many times soon, to be honest with you. But for now, yeah, you've got to play them as just Order. And that's it. If you play them as just Order, the Reavers, Spearmen, and Silverhelms are core choices. And actually, they're all 3 okay core choices. The Silverhelms have a 4-up save, rerolling ones and 2s in shooting. They're a pretty good anvil unit. The Spearmen are dirt cheap for what you get. 2-inch range, 4s and 4s. Rerolling saves of 1, or 1 and 2 in shooting phase. They're really good for like 80 points per 10 models. But I think the Reavers are the best battle line troop. Like 14-inch move, 16-inch range bows that fire 3 times each. If there's nobody within 3 of them on 4s and 4s, they're the best battle line. So I would just build off that. Go Order and use probably 3 Reavers as your battle line, or 3 Reavers and whatever you want really, and then just fill everything else in. This way, it's only really way to do elves right now, because they don't have a battle tome, because they're not really in the lore yet. You know, if you're following all the stories of Age of Sigmar. Okay, so I'm gonna reply to the rest of your stuff right now. You're gonna see this email coming to you actually before this video, buddy. But yes, if anyone else wants to answer the question or whatever, if you can post it under this video in the comment section, that'll really help me reply to it. I'll make sure I do this video weekly this time. Oh yeah, so the whole last time I did this email update video, my back went out immediately afterwards. That's why I didn't do a follow-up video, but I'll try to do this one weekly. Thank you for watching, everybody. Later.